honored that they've taken the time out of their schedule to come and be with Cooper and I in this moment and in this time. And so I love you guys, and I'm grateful that you get to be here, that you get to be a part of this night and get to help me as your son welcome my son into manhood. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. Coop, you've done a great job of just walking through the 4 pillars throughout the last 2 years. You've been a great student of what we've been trying to teach you and show you along the way. And I appreciate the fact that you've always done the work to memorize the memory verses and be at the classes and call out and become active with the group. And so I just love that. Thinking about this moment, as any of you dads can imagine, it's pretty emotional to think that this boy that came into my life 13 years ago is now getting ready to become a man. And so I've had an emotional heart all week in thinking about this moment and thinking about where Cooper's come from and where he's at right now. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about Cooper and the young man that he is, some of the giftings that I've seen in him. The first thing I know about Cooper is that he's tender-hearted. He really cares deeply for others, and he doesn't take anybody for granted. He places high value on friendships, the people that are in his life. He really cares well for them, and he loves them well. That goes right along with the next thing that I've seen in Cooper's life, and that's that he has a pastoral or fatherly heart. Especially when it comes to people that are younger than him. He views and he sees others that are younger than him, and he cares well for them. He cares well for their hearts. Yeah. He cares well for the people that they are, their physical needs, and I just see him as being one who loves others so well. And Coop, one of the things that I see that leading into is that you're going to be a great dad someday. Your kids are already richly blessed because of what the Lord's deposited in your heart. Agreed. And that's just such a blessing to me as a dad to see that deposited in you already. Is that the Heavenly Father has already put that inside of your heart, and He's already given that to your kids. And so as the grandfathers stand here, they can say that they've made a deposit in me and I've made a deposit in you. And the Lord's deposited in all of us. And your kids are going to be beneficiaries of that.
Yep, that's right.
Coop is a really good friend to those people that the Lord's brought into his life. He loves them well. He cares for them deeply. One thing about Cooper is that he's an extremely determined individual. He might not get something the first time around, but he is diligent and determined to stick with something until he gets it. And that's something that you don't find often in young men these days. Somebody that's willing to put in the work to become good at something. And so I really appreciate that about you, Cooper. One of the things that determination does is that it encourages people in his life. They see him working hard, and they see him growing and getting better in whatever activity that he's doing, and it causes others around him to be encouraged and strive for that same type of thing. Another thing about Cooper is he's a terrific athlete. I've gotten to coach him in a number of different sports, and it is such a joy as a father to see your son succeed on the athletic field, but also the heart with which he does it. He encourages his teammates. He loves being part of a team. And then he also brings his own athletic skill to whatever it is that he's doing, and makes my father's heart really proud and glad to see that happen. Another thing about Cooper is that he, similar to what I just said, but he learns through his experiences. And there is nothing wrong with learning from the things that you go through. I hope that we all do that. But one thing about Cooper is he learns from the experiences that he goes through And it's not just that he does it once and he learns it, or that he's got it, but it might take him a few times to learn something. But once he has gone through it and he's really learned it, it's inside of his heart and it's inside of his mind, and it's there. It never goes away. I love that about Cooper. Coop, as your dad, I can't express how proud I am of you and the path that you're choosing to follow. So many times I look at you and I see the Lord has just blessed you with so many qualities. Some of them he's put in me, but a lot of them are unique to you. And as Jim said earlier, I am thrilled that you're going to outrun me, that you're going to go further than I have in this life because of what the Lord's deposited in you. And it's as a result of a generational blessing from your grandfathers down to me and now on to you. And the Lord loves that about families and about generations, that you get to be the one who runs even further than these men that love you and then me. So this part is just a few things I want to say to you, Coop, just you and me talking. As you come into manhood, I call you to pursue the Word. I call you to pursue the Lord. Make Him a priority in your life as you come into manhood. Make Him front and center in all that you do. I call you to worship. You will always find a place in Him when you worship Him. It will bring a center. It'll cause you to be centered in your own heart and know your value and know your worth when you worship Him. I call you to follow the passions that He's placed inside of your heart. As we talked about a few minutes ago, each one of us are unique and different. And the Lord has created individual passions that I call you to walk into those with all of your heart. I call you to walk in integrity before the Lord, before these men, before the church, before all the people that you interact with. I call you to walk into integrity as a young man. I charge you to walk humbly in all that you do. May it be known of you that you are a humble young man that doesn't look for his own selfish gain through the things that he does or the things that he accomplishes, but that humility will always be something that's spoken of when your name is mentioned. Coop, I call you to walk confidently. I call you to walk in confidence as the man that the Lord has created you to be. That you would know inside of yourself who you are all the days of your life. And that as you step forward into whatever you're called to do and whatever the Lord's asking you to be, that you will be confident in Him inside of you. I call you to serve others, Cooper, all the days of your life. That you would see those that are less fortunate than you. That you would see those that are weaker than you. That you would find the widows and the orphans, and that you would go to them and that you would serve all the days of your life. That there would never be an attitude that you're better than, but that you would walk in that humility and that service to all the people around you, because Jesus was the greatest servant of all, and He's inside.